The New Orleans Pelicans have had an absolutely tumultuous season, but is this the end for everything in New Orleans? After losing David Griffin and then having to find a replacement for him? Well, we're going to break down everything you need to know on what's went down with the Pelicans and what their plans are leading forward in this video. I'm your host, Joey Mercer. This is another episode of Joe Mercer Sports Podcast. Before we get into it today, I just want to remind everyone to go down below, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and every single time we upload, you'll be able to stay up to date with our takes on the NBA and everything you need to know around it. So without further ado, let's get right into the topic at hand, which is Joe Dumars. Yes, Joe Dumars was recently appointed as the position of David Griffin, and now he's looking to trade Zion Williamson after an underwhelming Pels, Duke tenures, and Cavs and mix with Jarrett Allen package. So an absolutely crazy breakdown right here on the Sporting News, and the title right there says a lot of what you need to know. However, what does this mean? What pieces are going to be broke down? And what is Joe Dumars going to do with the Pelicans? Well, we're going to break it down for you right away. You can see here it says the Pelicans are reportedly giving newly appointed president of basketball operations Joe Dumars the edict to deal away Zion Williamson after a largely uneven 6-year tenure in the Big Easy. Since it looks like all the rumors are coming true, the final bit of intel have on this whole situation is that ownership will mandate Dumars to keep Willie Green and trade Zion. This is what I have heard. It's possible the Phoenix situation impacts Willie Green, but this is the plan I'm hearing, and that's from Hoop Hype's Shamit Dua. So we can see right there that they're looking at keeping Willie Green based on those reports and looking at moving on from Zion Williamson. Zion played just 30 games last season, and Willie Green really hasn't been the issue. He hasn't had the roster or tools to really have a winning team. So that makes a lot of sense for them to try to move on from Zion if there's much value left in him. Teams have to be worried about his injury history and the off-court issues as well he's had with several different women, which we won't get into right now. Then goes on to say Williamson has yet to live up to the considerable hype he's garnered since Coach K recruited the Spartanburg, South Carolina product to Durham, North Carolina. In truth, Williamson was a smash hit at Duke despite falling short for the Blue Devils in the 2019 Elite Eight. USA's Today Jeff Zilgett claimed at the time that Williamson was everything everyone wanted from the beginning of the year until the final game of the freshman season. Everything and more, actually bringing unbridled joy and excitement to college basketball with his astonishing highlights. Unfortunately, with a talent as notorious as Williamson on a team, as talented as that 2018-19 Blue Devil squad, with R.J. Barrett and Cam Reddish not making the Final Four, was seen as a failure at the time. It's been a New Orleans tenure where his reputation has taken several hits. Williamson has been hit with overweight and injury-prone labels while averaging 25 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists rounded. His numbers have been very good. It's not the production necessarily on the court. He is still unable to shoot threes, but when we look into things, he's been pretty productive. Nobody can really stop him at the rim. It's just he can't stay on the court. That's the biggest issue with Zion right now, not if he can actually play the game. Cavaliers can offer Pelicans a Jarrett Allen-led trade package for Zion Williamson. As the Sporting News DJ Foster notes, the Cavs could offer the Pelicans a Williamson proposal centered around Jarrett Allen and future draft picks. Draft picks, flippable contracts, and a fresh start. New Orleans would likely want to hold out for Darius Garland, which Cleveland would almost certainly balk at. But with enough picks and swaps along with Jarrett Allen, who could be flipped for more assets, the Cavs might have just barely enough to make it happen without sacrificing a core piece, Foster wrote. Now I want to talk about that right away. Darius Garland is a core piece. That's the core piece. Jarrett Allen and picks? I really don't know what that's doing. How's that helping? I mean, I guess you could move Mobley to the 5, but if anything, the Cavs would like to gain some shooting in their front court, as opposed to bringing in Zion Williamson. I don't really see how that's really changing things too much in a positive way. Zion's play style, he really needs to have the ball in his hands. He can work off oops and backdoor cuts, sure, But we need to remember he's only about 6'7". He isn't that tall of a guy. He should realistically be playing the small forward position at that height. He's playing power forward, sometimes center, and he's still undersized despite being around 285 pounds. That's something that people tend to forget about when it comes to Zion Williamson, and that's something that I'm noting here. Darius Garland's a core piece. Jared Allen still considered to be a pretty core piece of that team. If they're going to move on from it, it has to be a better fit, and I don't think Zion's a better fit. He might be a better player by all means. Yes, I agree with that point, but you'd like somebody that can shoot a little better next to Mobley if you're presumably going to be moving Mobley up to the 5 and then having Jared Allen off the team. I don't think Zion Williamson ultimately is the right fit for that to happen, and then you're trading away picks for your future. Don't like that decision at all. Williamson joined the Eastern Conference top team and serving as a number 2 option behind Donovan Mitchell, and maybe even a number 3 behind Garland as well, would put the 24-year-old in his best position professionally. So they'd want to get Darius Garland, but they don't want to move on with him because he's a core piece, is what I'm getting from that. But then at the same time, you're going to move on from Jared Allen, who, yes, they've had some issues with Jared Allen. They want somebody better in that position. I understand it, but I don't really see how Zion is making that team better. But maybe you guys have something else to say, and maybe you think differently than I do on that topic. But let me know what you think down below in the comment section. I think they'd like to upgrade to more shooting if they're getting rid of Allen. That's just my take, but let me know what you have to think down below. This is all I have to say on this topic right here today. Make sure if you made this far to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell for notifications, and every single time we upload, you can stay up to date with the NBA, and I'll see you all in the next video.